All right, welcome back to Brigham City's Tournament of Champions. This is a PPA event this year, sponsored by so many amazing sponsors. On Championship Court, too, here we've got Selkirk and Gearbox as sponsors. But what we're getting ready to watch, you have your host here, Christine Barksdale and Adina Napton, as we watch the bronze medal match of the Men's Senior Pro. We've got some kind of exciting. We've got some new players here that I am anxious to watch, Adina.
Me too.
We've got your Scotts. We've got Scott Moore.
We're familiar.
Scott Crandall.
Yep.
We're familiar with these two. Who we've got on the other side of the court are what I'm going to call two locals.
Yep.
We've got Jason Peary and Cord Robbins. We're going to share some things with you about them that we asked them before the match came out, but we're going to learn a little bit about their style of play, what they do, what they like, and we're going to see how they fare. They have beaten some solid teams today to get to this position.
Yep. Very phenomenal day.
So we're going to see how their nerves handle the bronze medal match.
And I'd like to comment here briefly on the fact that these two have been friends for 35 years. They played basketball together.
High school basketball. Isn't that awesome? Yes, I think that's awesome. They've been together friends for 35 years. They both also like mint chocolate chip ice cream. One of my favorite questions.
Number one for me.
Yum.
Who doesn't like mint chocolate chip? I'm sure there's some out there. We might be able to still be friends, but
maybe not.
You gotta have other qualities. I love it. That was a great setup. Now, Cord is in the Selkirk tank top.
Correct. Cord is the taller of the two on the court opposite him.
From Alpine,
Utah. From Alpine. And Jason was from?
Midway,
Utah.
Correct.
So two local guys that have beaten some solid teams. I believe they beat Jose DeRisi and John Sperling.
Yes, I think they lost to him the first time maybe, and then they beat him the second time.
And then beat him the second time. Came back through and beat them the second time. They also beat Chris Miller and...
I'm seeing some really good fast hands
out here, right? They got here for a reason. Who was Chris Miller playing with?
Witskin.
Rick Witskin. They beat Rick and Chris earlier today, which is also an outstanding team. Rick moves well around the court and picks a lot off. Chris Miller is awesome, been an old guard player, been around forever. We're going to see some interesting points here. This is a 2 out of 3 to 11. It is a bronze medal match, but it is 2 out of 3 to 11.
And I think my understanding is the Scots have not played this team before.
Correct.
Ever.
This is their first time playing them. So this is going to be, as we've said earlier, how much fun it is to figure out your opponents.
Yep.
Right? It's the excitement. What do they do well? It's a tough thing. Cord's a basketball player with good height. Lobbing him might not be smart.
Might not be. And he is left-handed, right?
Mm-hmm. Which makes it even.
And he's got super fast hands right out of the gate here.
Little net tipper. Good dig out of the net. Oh! Jason might be frustrated with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are tough when they just roll on the top of the court like that.
Mm-hmm. The score is 3-2-1.
That was juicy.
Good pickup. He was out of position.
Yep. And I didn't mind that they scooted back to defend, and then they were able to kind of start getting back in, but it didn't actually work out in their favor that time. But, sometimes that can be helpful to kind of get yourself back up to the kitchen line. You might need to defend for a ball or two, and sometimes scooting back can be helpful. What's your take on that,
I agree.
Christine?
I think sometimes you have to know when to take a step or two back to defend. You don't have to rush back into that. Wait till you hit yourself a decent shot to return, but you do want to look to get back up there once. That was a nice drive.
And I thought that was a great block.
Mm-hmm. It was. It was a beautiful drive, stayed low, and the block stayed low. Score is 5-2-2. Scott Crandall confirming before he did that serve that he was in the right spot, and then he was the score, which can be tricky, as we said, when you're lefty-righty. Sometimes you can lose track of where you're supposed to be. Wow.
Smart.
That was
Very
outstanding.
Smart. That was great defense there.
Great defense against the Ernie, Scott's Ernie, right? Scott Crandall responded quickly to a ball that really could have gotten away from him. We should talk briefly, Adina. Whoa, look at this little dink rally they've got going on. Nice dinking. And that was something you don't get to see very often. Two lefties on the court, dinking cross court,
Right.
backhand from a side that would typically be a forehand.
A forehand, yeah.
Yes.
It's very interesting.
This is an interesting dynamic to have two lefties on the court. But to talk briefly, I love to, give credit to somebody you might know, Ernie Perry, and how the name of the Ernie came to be.
I would have no idea. I'm pleading the fifth. He did do that well.
He did do that well.
One thing he did well.
He did. He was the one. He's the reason that it's called the Ernie. Ernie Perry is from Seattle, Washington area, and I remember I played him, 12 years ago, and that's the first time I saw it. I was like, "What are you doing?" And they said, "Yeah, that's a move he does." Hence, it got named the Ernie because I believe he was the first one that ever tried it.
Exactly. And what a claim to fame. I mean, to try something unique in pickleball. And I feel like we're so new and so young in this sport still that there's still opportunities.
For getting a move named after you. And what I love about Ernie, I would walk around going, "I'm Ernie," not Ernie. People don't even know that it's named after him most of the time. If I were him, though, I'd be strutting. I'd have a shirt. Yes, I'm Ernie, but not him. He's very modest about it. Looks like a timeout was called. We're here in a timeout right now.
I would help. I'm not much taller though.
And we've got a score of 6-3 with Cord Jason leading. So that's an interesting thought. I mean, they've had just an outstanding run, and you got to wonder, 35 years of friendship, how much do you even need to communicate when you're on the court? Time back in after that timeout that I really think was important that the Scots call. They were down 6-3, and you just don't want to let it get away from you. This is the first time they've seen these opponents, so they're feeling them out. They're learning. All four of these players are learning what's the right take, what's the right strategy to use. That timeout worked. That stopped the momentum, and is now bringing the ball back over to them. Score is 7-3-1. I was off a point. Sorry, folks. That timeout was an effective timeout. That has now not only gotten the ball back to their side, but it's gotten them a point. So the score is 8-3-1. We're making an adjustment. I just noticed on the screen that Scott Moore and Scott Crandall are the ones leading this match 8-3. So my apologies for the error on the screen. If you're watching the screen, we're finding out that the things were backwards. We're getting that fixed for you, folks. So Scott Moore and Scott Crandall are the ones leading this match right now. And they are up 3-8. Looks like he was able to pull, Jason was able to pull his paddle out of the way of that. Score is 4-8-2. It's great to see a match where there's two lefties on the court. I really think it just really mixes things up just a little bit different.
He's been successful. Cord's been successful with that going down the line over here.
He's catching it out of the air. He's using his length. He's tall, right? So he's using his length. He's leaning into the ball and catching Scott's backhand.
Yep, I think that's a smart place to go, and I think they should continue.
If you can
For
avoid,
that.
except you got to watch for Scott to jump around the kitchen. And we also know he's been doing that all day today.
Yep.
We love that except for.
Except for when you set up the Ernie for the
Right.
team.
What I would almost, like to see, I don't know if Cord or Jason owned that shot, but I'm wondering if you could toss, I think an effective tool, let me see what you think. An effective tool is a lob against somebody that jumps around the kitchen a lot.
Yeah, I think it could be, although it is going to be his an overhead.
If you get it
for
over,
Scott,
if he's
but
moved over, and
yeah,
it could be dangerous. It
could
could
be.
be risky, but it also could be super effective.
It could be, but you also got, Scott Crandall being a lefty, so that he could come over and take that as an
True,
overhead.
true.
I
That
mean,
makes it
and
more
he does
dangerous.
move pretty fast.
He does. He does. For senior pickleball, they're doing outstanding. These guys are all super fit.
Correct. I love seeing that in pickleball. Everyone's really taking their fitness and nutrition into
To account.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes a difference. There is game one here. Looks like we're going into game two. Scott and Scott seem to have things under control. We've had some outstanding points, though.
We have. It's a great match.
What do you think, Dina, if you've watched this? And what ideas or thoughts do you have for Cord and Jason? If you were going to go over there and coach them, what would you say to them?
That's a great question, Christine. Thanks. Well, I'm
Not to put you in the hot seat,
I don't
Dina. Just
consider-
curious.
I definitely don't consider myself a coach by any means. I think I play better than I coach. But, for them, I would try to minimize any unforced errors, to keep the ball in play. Maybe get strategic on trying to dink more with Scott Moore to his backhand, keeping it low, making sure it bounces so Scott doesn't have
Can't
that
reach in.
Yeah.
Or just Ernie it. Do you think?
What are your thoughts?
Well,
what do you think, Christine?
it's a good question, Adina. We talked earlier about maybe unstacking. We thought the Scots maybe should try and unstack just to give the opponent something different to look at. I'm wondering if Cord and Jason, I don't know, again, we've talked about left-handers, and sometimes they're super able to play both sides of the court and sometimes they're not. I'm wondering if Cord has the ability to play either side. Should they try unstacking a little bit? Put the forehands outside. Give it a shot.
It can't hurt. Once again, if what you're doing isn't working, it can't hurt to try something else.
Try it
Give
for
a
three or
different
four.
look.
Try her 3 or 4 points and see what happens. Again, that gets back to how diverse is that lefty that's on the court.
What was the score in that first game, Christine?
Believe it was 3,
Okay.
and they might have gotten to 4, but. Good hands. Good hands. Good hands. They made him reach. Made him reach, and you never know. You keep it in play. One more shot, and that's one thing, Adina, you were always good at. Make him hit one more ball. You know, you had great hands, phenomenal hands, and you made him hit one more ball.
Thanks. I'm a fan of that, you know. Being steady and keeping the ball in play goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Because if you can stick in a point and make them hit one more ball, they might hit it out. They might hit it into the net.
And you can also frustrate them because now you're getting it back. Now they go for more, right? Oh, now I've got to put this away. I've got to do this because that ball keeps coming back. How
Right.
frustrating can that be?
It is frustrating to play a team that just gets everything back.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oops. Big
So
juicy
what
one.
I saw there
Mhm.
is, can't remember his
Jason.
name. My bad. So
Jason.
I would like him to stay low and have his knees bent. I think if he would have stayed low on that, he would have had that put away.
We were talking about that
Kinda
earlier.
stood up tall.
The value, and you said it, the kayak move, right? We were talking about the value of bending your knees, staying low, and how important that is. And again, you just watched him. He just stood up straight again. He called the timeout. I think that's an excellent choice. But you know what I do think we're seeing Jason do a lot is he's standing up a lot, and he's getting caught hitting the top of the net. And you can't, with these two guys, you know, the Scots keep the balls coming back. You've got to be steady and take the aggressive shot when the opportunity presents itself, but you can't force it.
Absolutely not. Yep. You got to set your points up. And they've said, and I agree, that this game is a lot like chess. You know, you got to be thinking 6 moves ahead.
Yes.
Sometimes.
And you have to be patient. I feel like one of the most important parts of this game is patience.
Absolutely.
You can't force a shot that's not there. Wait until it presents itself. It might, and it will. And if you hit the right shots to get get it there, you can take it. But you can't take it when it's not yet there.
Absolutely true.
But I agree with you. It's a little bit of a chess game out here. Think 3 or 4 shots ahead. What shot can you hit that sets your partner up for a finisher?
Nice lob.
That was a great lob.
Perfectly placed.
That's trouble. Scott Moore and overheads is trouble.
True. He places it well. He puts a lot of power on it when needed.
Yes. But this is a fun look. I don't know if Jason and Cord have played much pro. I'm uncertain. I didn't ask him what their history was as a pro side of it, but it's exciting to see a couple of local players here in the men's senior pro bronze medal match. Having beaten some outstanding experienced teams. Love it.
Yep, me too. It's great. It's always wonderful to see new faces and to see new faces in the game and people that are having success in pickleball. It's wonderful. Love how the sport is growing tremendously.
Yes, it's growing like mad. So many new places, so many new skills, and they bring new shots. As you said, who knows what's the next new shot's going to have a name?
Who's it going to be named after?
It might be named after Cord. We don't know it yet.
The Christine. I mean, that sounds good.
The
The Adina.
The Adina.
I don't think I'm creative enough to come
me-
up with anything.
Me
new.
either. I tend to think within the box. There was a finisher there by Scott Crandall. And I think who we've got waiting in the wings for the gold medal match are Dave and Dane. Is that correct, Adina?
That's right. They are going to play.
We may see a rematch of the Scots.
I feel like that would be possible and very likely.
Yes.
But hey, you never know. You never know in pickleball.
Never know. Momentum, as you said, is a huge thing. Okay, this is Jason is the server right now. He is serving, and they are stacking because Cord is a lefty. That was a great move on Jason's part.
I love the whole execution of that point.
It was perfect.
Yep.
It was perfectly executed.
Flawless.
That was a great dig.
Good. And
I liked. Oh, he missed the forehand. I liked that roller that Scott Crandall had hit. It was kind of soft, pushed it out, tough to get. But Jason actually did a great job of getting over and keeping a nice controlled ball.
Yeah, and he got back into position. Again, I would like to see him maybe bend down just a little bit and paddle up. Be ready
Paddle
for
up.
that. Paddle up is huge.
I agree with you on that. Paddle up. How do you think you train yourself? Didn't you? I thought, Adina, we're outstanding at always having your paddle up for a quick exchange. What do you think? How do you think you were so good at that?
Luck.
The luck sometimes plays a part of
I mean,
it.
I just always expect the ball to come back. I don't give up on any point. I mean, that is the truth.
That's a good mentality.
Because you just never know. I mean, I'm sure like many people, you've gotten things back that you never thought you'd get back, and you get yourself back up to the kitchen line in position and, reset the point entirely, and anything can happen at any time. So I think you just got to always be ready for that ball to come back.
So how do you think you train yourself to always have the paddle up? Sometimes it's instinct. Some people just do it, and I felt you just did it. But I do think there are some drills out there that can be done to help keep your paddle up.
Yeah, I remember watching a video, and this is actually after you're talking about I already kept my paddle up, but I do recall Simone Jardim has a video out there, and I thought it was her that she talked about the paddle positioning of paddle up. It might not be her, and I stand corrected, anyone out there have input on this, but I recall it paddle up, but I remember slightly turning it so I could be ready. Some people are ready, forehand ready. Some people are ready, backhand ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've always considered myself forehand ready, but I have worked on and been more ready to reset. So it's kind of a midway. I can't show it to you
sure,
verbally.
So it's very difficult to describe.
Yeah, but it's in between being ready for a forehand and a backhand. It's almost like it, 11
a little
o'clock.
bit of the 3/4, 11 o'clock. That's a good way to put it. 11 o'clock is a good way to put it.
And 11 o'clock. And I just found that has been helpful to be ready. But I typically like to block with a backhand.
Mm-hmm. And most people do. It's a better shot
more
to block
natural.
with.
Yeah.
And part of the reason for that, let's watch this. Oh, I thought we were going to have a long paddle.
Me too.
But part of the reason for that is I think it's easier to block. You can almost block 3/4 of the way versus a forehand.
Just that one area.
Exactly. You can cover more area with a backhand block.
And just by chance, if anyone who's a newer player listening, what tips would you give in helping someone learn to be a better blocker?
I think you have to practice it. I think it comes to having your paddle up and using mostly a backhand block.
Yep.
To be honest, I think too many people try to kind of have that forehand ready position. But if you guys think about it, you just can't cover as much
Christine,
area.
did
What
you
a
see that?
Yes, that was outstanding.
So he missed the overhead the first time. Mm-hmm. And again, this is not giving up. He's like, no, I'm going to get this thing over.
Right?
Lobs it back over.
That was great.
I love it. I love that example of not giving up, just keeping the point.
Never give up.
I would also like to add something to the blocking.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lighter grip on the paddle.
Excellent point.
Very helpful in absorbing the power.
Maintain a lighter grip. A lot of people have a death grip on the paddle. They hold it so tight. And that's a great addition, Adina. I love the insight.
Their defense is just...
That was such a great point. Such a great point. I do.
Strong defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to watch. These guys don't give up on anything. I think there's a lot of potential there.
There's a reason they got to this bronze medal match today, because it's not easy to get to the bronze medal of the Tournament of Champions. So many of the top players are here.
True. Yep. And it's a pretty big field.
It's a big field in the Senior Pro. They had quite the number of matches today with a lot of great players. Good call. Good call on Scott Moore's part. This has been a great day. You know, the Professional Pickleball Association has done an outstanding job of setup, of vendors, of food, of music, of entertainment, of really making this event an amazing professional event.
I like that Cord anticipated that speed up, and he was there covering the middle.
Mm-hmm. Looks like they have forced themselves a timeout. Gotten on a little bit of a roll. This yes, they are in a timeout. We're going to roll to a quick commercial. Let's see a commercial about Utah. And we are coming back from this timeout. We're going to confirm the score with the referee.
Good plan. It's always good to know the score.
It is.
Whether you're commentating, watching, spectating.
Always good to know
playing.
What's going on. Both teams have one timeout remaining, thanks to the referee updating us, and we're going to listen very closely for the score to confirm that we have it right.
I'd like to do a shout out anyone who lives in Utah.
It is 5-6-1. We are right on the money.
Yeah.
Who are we doing a shout out to Utah?
Ooh. Well, I just wanted to say, if anyone's in the area, like
they should
my
come
husband
on
and
out.
we live in Ogden. It's a 20-minute easy drive up. So worth it. Come support the sport.
Absolutely, and learn a
Food
lot.
Trucks, learn a lot.
Support the local restaurants. These food trucks that are here are local food trucks. They're local restaurants. Come on out. Support the city that's put in a ton of money and time into this event.
Okay, I have a question. It's a mechanical one about some mechanics.
Oh, I'm dying to hear what this question is.
I'll give it to you after the point.
Yes. Oh, I thought he was going to have that pickup right there.
So the cross step, the good old-fashioned, I call it old-fashioned, but
comes from tennis. Tennis was a big into cross step.
Tennis is huge. You need to do the cross step on your volleys.
You have to. Mm-hmm.
But what do you think about it for pickleball when you're dinking? What are your thoughts on the cross step?
You know, it's an excellent question. I don't know that I'm the right person to answer that, but I'm going to give you an answer.
There's no right or wrong here.
That's true. My 2 cents. I feel like if you cross step, you take yourself out of position. I feel like, yeah, sometimes it can make you more consistent, but I feel like if you've cross stepped, A, you could accidentally step into the non-volley zone, and B, now your body's facing the wrong direction if they happen to speed it up on you. So I don't necessarily like the cross step in pickleball. What do you think, Adina?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think sometimes it's necessary to get, if you're doing a one-handed backhand and you need to get that extra reach, it can help. But in general, I think you can get tangled up.
Correct.
I think your feet can get tangled up. And again, like you said, you're out of position. And when you're out of position.
Thank you.
And with them only being 14 feet away from you, the ball gets back fast. It's hard to untangle yourself and get ready for the next shot.
But I mean, I have to say, I see Ben Johns do the cross step quite a bit, and he's our number one.
Right, that's why I said I don't know.
So it's kind of I think it depends on the shot, and I'd love to ask Ben Johns that question.
We need to bring him in the booth
Ben,
and ask
where
that
are
question. Come on, come on over, Ben. We're probably playing, but we don't care. Could you come answer our question?
Yeah, this is more important. We need to tell our listeners what to do, when to cross step, when to not.
Whether to cross step or not.
Another timeout.
Another good choice, because we're all tied up at 7-all.
I love it. This could go to 3,
yeah,
Christine.
that'd be
I would
exciting.
love it if it went to 3.
Me too. You know why? Because I like that these two local players that have been friends for 35 years are out here playing a bronze medal match against Scott and Scott.
I love that they're having such a successful day, and I'd love them to take it and get on that medal stand today.
Right? I think so.
Great victory for them.
I think right now they're feeling like they're at an amazing victory, having beaten some of the teams they have beaten today.
I think so.
But
I think
wouldn't
they
it
should feel confident. I think this tournament should build their confidence going this far and going this deep in this bracket.
this is a big tournament.
I would like to know, and I don't think we got the answer as to how many tournaments they have played.
Yeah, we didn't quite get that answer of what their actual record is.
And that would be a great question I'd like answered. Remember back in the day when you first played a tournament?
I remember the first time I saw you play a tournament.
You do?
I do.
What tournament was it?
Let's watch this point, and then I'm going to tell you.
The anticipation is killing.
Look at that. You know what? Cord's got an excellent.
This. Oh, wow! He pulled the trigger.
He
Maybe
did.
a little bit too soon on that
He
one.
did. It was a little bit low. I'm liking Cord's backhand dinks. Those are nice. He's staying low for a guy that's pretty tall.
Yeah. How tall do you think he is?
6'2".
Yeah.
Well,
think
yeah,
so.
I guess 6'2". He was. I know. I looked up when I had to talk with him. But that means you got to get all the lower, right?
Yep. You sure do. Bend those knees.
Oh, Scott was going to get a little lucky with the net tip there.
I thought that might have rolled over.
Didn't quite do it, but yeah, I'm liking Cord's dink. And I didn't gather that Cord had a big tennis background. I know that Jason said he played tennis.
Jason did say tennis. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
But Cord really focused on his basketball background.
Right.
And he played where at Dixie?
Oh, somebody played at BYU and somebody played at Dixie.
Dixie. I'm pretty sure Cord played at Dixie, and I'm pretty sure that Jason played at BYU basketball.
Yep. Which again, hand-eye coordination is super pertinent.
And athletic ability. I just think moving your feet. You know, when you're in athletics, you learn how to move your feet, and that's a huge part of this sport.
In pickleball.
And anticipation.
Yep.
You know, they've got quick hands.
Be ready for that coming back. Where is it coming? Get low. Still at 7-7.
Still at 7-7. We've been here for a while, so that's nice. They're holding them off. They want this game pretty bad. Oh, sad.
So I feel like it just might just be momentarily, but I'm noticing and I'm observing that when Cord and Jason are speeding it up first, they've lost a few of those. So I'm wondering
if they should try to dink
Maybe
a
a
little
little bit.
longer.
Oh.
Oops.
Oh, okay.
Almost.
That was an interesting grip. The Gigi LeMaster grip.
It was
I saw
a
from
Gigi
Scott Moore.
LeMaster right there. Speaking of Gigi LeMaster, one of the great pickleball players of all time with no racket sports background.
Oh, she's just amazing. Talk about patient.
Yes.
Most patient player on the planet.
Dink, 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 like nobody's business with great hands. Gigi LeMaster, I get the good fortune to play with her quite a bit, and she's a very good friend of mine, and she also teaches a lot of
She's
pickleball.
teaching a lot of pickleball.
Yes,
Engage
she is.
clinics, I
Engage-
believe.
Yes.
Which reminds me, I did, after this point's over, it's a good one.
It's a great point. Good hands on Cord's part.
Yep.
It looked like it was going to catch him for sure.
And there was definitely an out ball, but, sometimes it comes too quick. Scott Moore has a company called pickleballtrips.com.
Yes.
And I know they travel all over Mexico, Japan.
Man, all over the
and
world.
They play and teach pickleball.
Yeah, with his sons. Daniel Daniel is a great young man.
Just going to have a baby.
Is he?
He got married and going to
How
have a
exciting.
baby.
I just
Yeah.
love Daniel. I think he's a great young man, a great player, and also a great instructor. Yeah, pickleballtrips.com. If you're looking for an exotic destination with some pickleball mixed in, I would check it out.
Yeah, there's so many of those great.
We've gone into a timeout.
Yeah, it looks like it. And I am looking at the ball. And it's not under anyone's paddle.
No.
But I'm sure they remember because the paddles are in the correct stacking position. So.
As Adina noted, it's a great thing to do in a timeout to make sure that when you come from the back from the timeout that the proper person serves the ball. So it's always kind of good to maybe toss the ball under the paddle so that when you come back in, you don't make an accidental error.
Right.
Let's talk real quick while we're in timeout
Yep.
about the first time I watched you play.
Oh, yes.
It was
Let's get back to that.
Nationals at Sun City Festival with Matthew
Oh,
Bloom.
My favorite all-time tournament.
Mixed doubles, and you guys came in and nobody knew you.
Nobody knew
knew
us.
Matthew, and you came
Matthew
in
was 6'4",
giant
it felt
and
like.
a big serve, big forehand serve. I got the good chance to see Matthew this week. He doesn't play much pickleball anymore, but his nephew was here playing.
No way.
Yeah. I think they might
Fabulous.
have played together. But his nephew was here playing, so I got to meet his nephew. But that was the first time I saw you play, Adina, and you played.
gosh.
You played against what? The great Steve Wong at that point,
Steve
right?
Wong, Lydia
Lydia.
Leinster at the time.
Yes.
Oh, I remember
And you were
Timothy Nelson
Yeah.
and Mona Russell. Wait,
Mona.
No.
No.
What's her last name?
I'm drawing a
Well,
blank.
I just
Mona.
Mona. We just
know her as Mona.
It's a wonderful player. Both of those. That team. I mean, that was such a. I just remember that was so tough. It was such a victory.
And you
I thought that was the bigger victory than getting silver. Isn't that crazy?
You guys came in, and you were the talk because you were the first new team to come in for a while, and
Very fun.
and everybody's talking about you two.
Yeah, I remember my whole pickleball world kind of opened up in that moment, and it was so fun, so fun.
All right, here we are back in from that strategically placed timeout. The score is 7-8.
I can't comment.
The ball was called out by Cord and Jason. They checked with the referees, and the referees agreed with that call. So Scott had questioned it, but the referees agreed with the call.
And I've decided that people really do see it one way or another. Whether it's, the truth is so hard because I really believe people believe.
Yes.
Whether it's
They're
out
not
or in.
intentionally making
No.
an inaccurate call.
I think most people, 99.9%, really believe what they see, and that's what makes it so hard in pickleball.
Yes, I don't believe people are intentionally making bad line calls.
I don't either.
But what I don't know that people are aware of, and I have died for somebody. I think somebody should.
I loved it.
That was a
Did you
great
see
reach
that?
in.
And he set that up so nicely.
Perfectly.
He went to Scott Crandall's backhand and kind of brought him out of position, and then just,
And he
got a
stayed right
pop-up.
up on the line,
He was
which
right
is
there,
the
ready
key.
for
He
it.
stayed right up on the line, was able to make a nice, easy put away for himself. Oh, sad. But he'd love that back. But I do think about line calls, it's a lot about where you see the ball from.
Right.
And I've been dying for some young, kid out there, or Rusty, or from Pickleball's channel to prove to people how much of where you're standing, where you're looking at the ball from matters, whether that ball's in or out. Unfortunately, there's an accurate, but it's a matter of where you see it from.
Okay, so thank you, Chris Anderson, who's listening. Oh, I miss you, girl. I wish you were here, but Mona Burnett.
Mona Burnett. Thank you,
Thank
Chris Anderson. One of the great players of all time, I'm going to say, Chris Anderson, who has certainly beaten me a time or two, but also one of the most fantastic ladies I know in pickleball. Ooh, he would love to have that backhand back. It was up there. He set it up for himself. Nine, 10-2. These guys have got an opportunity to take this to game 3.
They sure do.
If they play smart pickleball. It's hard to close a game out, though.
Yep, there's pressure. There's.
It's so different than in basketball, what they're used to, where you can
Right.
just let the clock run out. You actually have
that
to
was
close it
fun.
out and win it.
You do, and we just saw an uncharacteristic
Air,
unforced error from Scott Moore.
correct. Here we are at 10-9. This could go to game 2. 3. Just kidding.
3. I'm like, wait.
We are in
I
game
know.
2.
I like that, taking it out of the air. Nice.
As much as I love that Chris Anderson is watching this pickleball, I wish she was here so I could commentate on Chris Anderson's play. She hits one of the.
I do too.
I love her serve.
Oh, it's so great.
Such a great serve.
And she puts so much topspin on the ball. And she's just got beautiful strokes, great lobs, awesome dinking.
And
she moves you around.
I know.
Where are you,
darn
Chris?
her. But where are you, Chris? Come on out. Chris Anderson, one of the great players. Nine, 10-2. They get one more side out here, and we could be seeing game 3. It's hard not to get excited. What do you think, Adina? When you have...
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, when you have that point on your paddle, it's hard to not stay patient and play. It's
so hard.
right, you want to just go for it and get it.
Yeah, you just want to get it done.
Yes.
Because you think it's going to be easier, but in reality, it makes it harder because then you end up pressing too much.
Correct.
That's
That's great.
So I back in the last match that we saw the Scots play, I was asking you, had they played much together? Because I have noticed a lot of balls have gone down the middle. I don't want to say a lot, but I've seen quite a few. So just wondering if that was a middle issue. Like, is this new partnership, maybe they haven't figured out the middle, or...
Well, you know, I was gonna look up their history. You know, it's one of the things we can do.
Wow.
We can look up a history and find out how much they have played together. Look it up on pickleballtournaments.com.
I love the way that Jason and Cord have worked their...
That's a good pull of the trigger.
Yeah, darn it. They worked themselves up to the kitchen line so well in that point. They'd had so many nice resets. They were patient. Is it 10-10, Christine?
I believe it is 10-10-2. Uh-oh.
Okay. Well,
They see they're doing what I feel like they're doing, what we talked about.
Yep.
They're pressing now,
press a little
right?
bit.
They want to
Then
press. They want to
stay
close it
patient.
out.
wait for that right ball.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for that right one.
And it's going to be hard to... Yep. Oh.
What?
It's 11-10.
Mm-hmm. Game point. Game and match point.
Yes, game and match point. They've got Dave and Dane waiting in the gold medal match. They're waiting to see which one of these two comes out of this bronze medal match.
That hurts.
That's sad for him.
Yep.
But great play. Great
play.
match.
Yep.
Great match.
I think they should feel proud of how well they did today.
I agree.
But,
They're walking away with a bronze medal here.
do you feel proud, though, right after a loss?
No.
No, it takes some.
You're usually a little frustrated.
You're not.
Even though
Proud is not the first feeling that you feel after a loss.
especially after being up 10-9 and wishing you could have closed it out.
Maybe later.
Yeah,
Give
later.
it some time, process it.
They've
And
got
then you can feel proud.
Yeah, they can focus on the fact that they beat some outstanding teams today.
Somebody just threw up. Is that something we should comment?
Jason
played hard.
He did. He played super hard.
It's okay over there.
And we're going to roll into some Utah commercial while we wait on the next match that comes out, if match comes out.
Here, we explore fresh territory. We create lifelong memories. We try new things and steer ourselves to brighter shores. Here, our land of sky and water is yours too. Welcome to Box Elder County. Here, we explore fresh territory. We create lifelong memories. We try new things and steer ourselves to brighter shores. Here, our land of sky and water is yours too. Welcome to Box Elder County. Here, we explore fresh territory. We create lifelong memories. We try new things and steer ourselves to brighter shores. Here, our land of sky and water is yours too. Welcome to Box Elder County. Here, we explore fresh territory. We create lifelong memories. We try new things and steer ourselves to brighter shores. Here, our land of sky and water is yours too. Welcome to Box Elder County. Here, we explore fresh territory. We create lifelong memories. We try new things and steer ourselves to brighter shores. Here, our land of sky and water is yours too. Welcome to Box Elder County. Here, we explore fresh territory. We create lifelong memories. We try new things and steer ourselves to brighter shores. Here, our land of sky and water is yours too. Welcome to Box Elder County. Here, we explore fresh territory. We create lifelong memories. We try new things and steer ourselves to brighter shores. Here, our land of sky and water is yours too. Welcome to Box Elder County. Here, we explore fresh territory. We create lifelong memories. We try new things and steer ourselves to brighter shores. Here, our land of sky and water is yours too. Welcome to Box Elder County. Here, we explore fresh territory. We create lifelong memories. We try new things and steer ourselves to brighter shores. Here, our land of sky and water is yours too. Welcome to Box Elder County.
All right, folks, don't leave this live stream. I want to let you know that we have the men's senior pro gold medal match coming up. We have Scott Crandall and Scott Moore that just defended and won beat Jason and Cord in the bronze medal match. They are going to come back and watch them play. We're going to watch them play. Dave Weinbach and Dane Gingrich. We watched them here on Championship Court earlier today. You're going to have your host here. You're going to have Adina Napton, Mickey Napton, Christine Barksdale, and it looks like we're going to have one of the top referees in the sport, Don Stanley, coming on out to this championship match. Don't leave, folks. We're going to still see a little more Utah, a little more time, but we're going to have this match up shortly. Please come back. Tell all your friends to go to YouTube, or at least find it the way you did, but go to YouTube and go to Utah VOD so we can get more people watching this match, so we can keep live streaming the senior pros here at the Tournament of Champions in Brigham City. See you soon. gold medal match. They are just about to finish their warm-up. We have Dane Gingrich and Dave Weinbach getting ready to take a match up against the Scott Crandall and Scott Moore. We watched them play a little bit earlier today. My co-host has returned, Adina Napton, and I believe we're going to have an addition to the team, Mickey Napton, for a little extra insight.
I call him the insight king when it comes to pickleball.
He did add some valuable insight that hopefully people are listening to. I'm excited about this match. I want to just see what happens. I believe, did the match go to 2 or 3 earlier? I don't recall. Let me look. I have the bracket up.
When they first played?
Because this team definitely played each other earlier today.
Ooh, that is a tough. We've seen so many matches.
We have, and I start to get them all confused. But this team definitely played each other earlier today. And I'm going to pull this up and see if I can't find the bracket to find out. We know that Dave and Dane won. I just can't remember if they won in 2 or 3.
Seems like most of the games today have gone to 3, doesn't it?
We've definitely had a lot of great matches.
Really good pickleball. I love when they go to 3.
Me too. It makes it so much more exciting.
Unless you're on the court. Unless you're on the court. I always want 2 and done.
That's a true statement.
What about the gold? Do you like it going to the 15 game? I do. I love it.
I'm kind of anti the game to 15.
What?
I've been on both sides of it, right? Where you lose the game to 15, you win the game to 15, and I don't know. I just feel like you get to the gold medal. Oh, here we go. I'll shut up. Let's go.
They won this match earlier, 11-2, 11-7. I remember they were tied up at that 7-all for a while.
So if they want to win, the Scots have to pull out the 2 out of 3 and the game to 15 for the gold.
Yes.
So we got a little bit of work to do.
Pulling the trigger earlier.
Love
That
it.
was a great anticipation on Dane's
Beautiful
part.
point.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if this is any indication of how this match is going to go, get your popcorn, folks. Buckle down.
Right. And, we're fortunate to have some outstanding popcorn available to us here. The Walker Cinemas has provided popcorn. They've brought some popcorn, and it's delicious.
They have the best popcorn, don't they, Mick?
Yeah,
we
were
live
talking
here,
about it earlier. Yep.
and we know that theater has the best popcorn.
All kinds of flavors, raspberry and cinnamon.
Wait,
and
you guys got to look at the hands on these guys right
These
now.
guys
This
are
point is
amazing.
insane.
I'm sorry, we're talking about popcorn.
Popcorn.
Priorities, Mick.
I hear you.
we got plenty of time to watch their hands.
That was a great point right there. So much good defense.
For those of you watching, feel free to mute the commentary if it's too much for you.
We've been here a while. We're starting to get tired. We're starting to get a little punchy, and we're starting to get hungry.
That was a beautiful drive by Crandall right there. He was taking off on his back foot, driving through it, and it went like maybe an inch over the net. Hard to do.
He has done several of those today. His drives, having played mixed doubles with him, his drive, he does that a lot. He's got it down to a nice science.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So right there, when he went for that drop right there, his weight was kind of off balanced, and he missed the drop, but he's so good at that too.
Now, our thoughts earlier, when the Scots were playing them earlier, was we felt like we wanted the Scots to maybe start playing a little more aggressively earlier. They were kind of losing those dink valleys where Dane and Dave got to start the pace.
Yes.
So we're going to see what they do. I'd kind of like to see him unstack sometimes, too.
Great lob.
Scott Moore has an outstanding lob.
He really does, especially a volley lob. Fantastic volley lobs. It helps when you're 9 feet tall like he is.
That does help a lot.
You guys doing good hot?
Oh, that was too pretty. Too pretty, all of it.
Did you see what really set all that up was Scott Crandall's anticipation
Yes.
of that. He ran to the ball. He didn't wait on it to get to him. He moved to the ball in anticipation of it going down, shooting the middle.
Let cord there, just hung it up, took the timing away from Scott Moore. Hard to reload after that hit.
It is. I don't don't know that I like Scott pulling the trigger on it right there. But it's so much easier when you're sitting out here.
Right.
I'm at 10-0 out here easily.
Oh,
another beautiful
lob.
Very pretty.
Textbooks.
And handled perfectly by
let
Dane.
cord giveth and let cord taketh away.
Dane did an excellent job of getting back and hitting just a nice little third ball drop. So many people, they run the lob down and then they rush
They
it.
rush it, yeah.
Mhm.
He really took his time and executed a perfect little drop.
Oops.
Little indecision in the middle. I love that we got the Scott squared and the Dave squared.
Well, it's Dave and Dane.
Oh, you're right. I'm so dumb. Never mind. Sorry, people. A third lob?
Didn't go over him. He foot faulted. Don Stanley caught the foot fault, but it didn't matter. That ball did not go over the net. Yeah, Dane runs a website, CoachDane.com. So for people that really want to learn, get some mental insight, Dane does do a website that you can check it out and learn a lot from Coach Dane.
I have heard a lot about him being a good mental coach.
Yes.
Haven't experienced it myself yet. Wouldn't mind. Maybe my lovely wife and I here could actually play on the same court. That'd be amazing.
In your dreams, babe. In your dreams.
Right.
I've gotten to play with your lovely wife.
I know. I do, but
She's had the pleasure of playing with this mental case.
Oh, and she knows the mental case that I am.
Hey, takes one to know one, baby.
everybody at the top is really special.
Oh, that's sweet. You're too kind.
Special. Ooh, that was a drive. You know what I liked? But the return was short, shallow. Scott came in, was going to grab that ball early. He just drove it right into the net, unfortunately.
Kind of moved through the ball instead of
Stopping and hitting.
Yeah. A lot of people really struggle with that. Not that Scott struggles with it. He's usually really good at it, but
He was just showing us what not to do.
right, us mere mortals need to stop and then hit the ball.
Yeah, that split step from tennis really comes into handy in pickleball. Wouldn't you say, Christine?
I would say, yes. So many people want to move, keep moving, move through it. And the reality is they need to stop. As you were talking earlier, the value in setting up for the next ball. And so really, when do you split step? You split step when?
I split step when the other player's hitting the ball, making contact. How about you? Is that what you were taught?
That's what I was taught. Split step
Awesome.
when they're hitting, you got to stop and kind of prepare for what's coming next.
This has nothing to do with pickleball, but I took a flight lesson, and you have to set up for your landing, and the setup is totally key for a smooth landing.
Same thing.
Oh, a beautiful return there by Dave.
That's frustrating. That's a
Yep.
forehand volley down the center. Frustrating to miss.
Yeah, and that's the one. That's where like it's an all or nothing type of shot when you get in the air to hit a ball. Dane returns the favor of a lob.
That was well covered by Scott Crandall right there.
He got on top of that nicely.
It's tough kind of to lob that lefty-righty combo because you're sending it right up to their forehand.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to out Dave Weinbach here a little bit. I was talking with him earlier with Brian Lee over here, and Dave was saying, watch what I do to these guys next. Here, I'll show you how to beat them. So, we'll see.
Let's see if his
Yeah,
his play matches his words.
right,
which
right.
I'm betting it will. I'm going to bet on Dave today, but you do what you want to do.
But the score is right now leaning in the favor of Scott Moore and Scott Crandall because they are up 4-1.
Oh, none of it
And they
matters.
are serving.
None of it matters until that came to 15.
Right.
I wonder, you guys, do you think that players think, oh, let's just take it easy and then we'll just, I never did. Christine, did you?
No, I would not want to put it on that. Wait
Mick?
on a game. I'd rather win in the game 2 out of, the 2 out of 3 to 11 versus go to that game to 15.
Never.
me too.
But it sometimes looks like that to me. It looks like they're just kind of taking it easy. I can't imagine that going through anyone's mind. But if anyone watching has ever done that, let me know. I'd love to meet you.
Right. I'd like to see a double forfeit to a game to 15.
That's confidence in your game right there.
Right.
Or crazy. I don't know which.
I mean,
That was
that
out.
was going out.
Yep.
Well out, yeah.
But you know what, Mickey? I don't think you saw the last match where at the end, remember, Christine, the second and final game, I believe, because it went to 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they played him, that's what Dane started doing, and it was effective for Dane. So I think Crandall's like, I'm going to be ready for that.
Right.
Yeah.
He started driving up the middle. Is it two-handed
With the
drive?
two-handed backhand,
Okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
He burned
fourth
him.
lob.
Ooh, let's go. He's fired up. Yeah, he burned them 2 or 3 times near the end of that game, but they were tied up 7-all. Next thing you know, he burned 2-handed backhands, very well disguised, right down the center.
Nice, nice. So we're at a count of 4 lobs for Scott Moore. 2 of the plays have been successful, 2 of them have not. And we got a single lob from Gingrich.
Okay, thank you for keeping track. That's impressive.
Good stats.
I didn't think guys could multitask, Mickey.
Mickey,
You
of
know
course he
that.
can.
No. Oh,
All right,
man.
we are at 3-5-2. Don Stanley is reffing this match, and he is the head referee for the Professional Pickleball Association. He's been a referee for a very long time.
Beautifully executed.
He's actually pretty funny. Like when you meet him in real life.
No.
Yeah, right.
He is funny.
Oh,
That was, you didn't get the joke. That's all right.
I got the joke. It just
She
took me a
got it.
second. I thought you were telling me no.
He's
But
not
it was-
funny?
But that was totally accurate, though.
Can I get a comedian to commentate with, please? Someone that's quicker to get my jokes.
Fifth lob.
You know what? He used that strategy you and I talked about earlier, Adina, where when somebody's doing an Ernie and stepping around, I like that
The
lob.
lob. Yep, you
of
called it. Look, now you're predicting.
Right. Scott tried it. It didn't work out for him, but he tried it.
Yep.
Oh, tough.
Move your feet.
So Dave
gonna-
Weinbach actually talked about that spot right there on
The
Scott
backhand.
Moore
We know,
earlier. He said
yeah.
in that dinking backhand spot on Scott Moore, that's
That's where to go.
where he said
Which-
that's his bread and butter.
Which is what have you noticed? They're putting Dave Weinbach diagonal from Scott because I think they specifically want him to dink cross court with Scott Moore. That's why I suggested earlier to my cohort Adina that they should try unstacking for a few points. Maybe put Scott Crandall's
Wise.
forehand over there.
Wise.
Right.
Yeah, very
Try
wise.
something.
Yeah.
You lost earlier in 2 games. Maybe if you want to try something a little bit different, maybe unstack. I don't know that it'll work,
Right.
but why not give it a try at this point?
I'm
I
a
agree.
huge
Because
fan
now
of that.
your lead, you are no longer in the lead. You were up 5-3, now you're down 5-6, and we've watched exactly why.
Yep.
Christine, I completely concur.
Good insight right there.
Yeah. But are they going to do it? If you
Should
had to
I
put money
run
on
over
it,
and see if they want my
if you
coaching?
had to put money on it, what would it be?
I think they are not going to unstack.
Wait a minute. Okay.
No.
Oh, there's
We
the
don't know
signal.
this.
I'm pretty sure his signal is an open hand, which means what, team?
Okay, so I'm betting
Switch it
$1
up.
on it that they're not going to.
Oh, he stayed.
I lose $1.
You lost your $1.
Magical.
It didn't work, but they
had it.
did it.
But you won $1.
But I did win $1.
Fantastic. Love it.
He stayed. He stayed. Oh,
Just
because
long.
the serve kept him.
Just long.
You said, goddamn it, that's a verbal warning.
Don Stanley gave Scott Crandall a verbal warning right there for a profanity on the court.
Yep.
And I'm not going to mention any names, but somebody else was on this court earlier that said a profanity and nobody did
And
nothing.
nobody said anything. It
Actually, a
depends,
couple of profanities.
depends on the referee sometimes.
Yeah.
I may have said a profanity in my day, and sometimes the
I never
referee, sometimes the referee would just say, "You said sugar, right?" I said, "Yes, sugar."
That's a helpful referee
It
right
is. Because some of it. Here they're back in that configuration that Dave Weinbach
yeah,
wants.
He
Yeah.
predicted that. That's what
Mhm.
exactly what he called earlier.
That's what Dave and we actually had heard earlier. Adina may have heard some little conversation between Scott and Scott that Scott anticipated that's what they were going to do. Scott Moore anticipated they were going to go to his
A
backhand.
sixth lob that was
I'm gonna see-
ineffective.
I'm
Now
gonna,
he's 2 for 6.
I think a timeout's coming soon or a switch up because this is not working.
Let's see what he's calling. Be interesting to see what he's calling right there.
I can't wait.
I feel like he had an open hand, but yep.
Silly.
It's going to keep, yeah.
Wow.
Need to do something different.
Yeah,
That's my
Can't-
opinion.
Yeah, now they're just trying to force it. It's not. Get back to some
They are up. The
fundamental-
servers are up 9-5 at this point with Dave and Dane. I feel like they've got a little bit of a mental edge going on.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like it.
Because what they're doing is working
Mm-hmm.
and the other team,
Doesn't know what to do.
yeah.
And they've tried some different things at this point.
Oh,
They faulted. Dave Weinbach was called on a foot fault for that. He ran through the non-volley zone. He tried to argue that it bounced first. I think he tried to argue something, but both referees agreed that it was a foot fault.
yeah.
I love when we have two referees. That's so helpful.
It is, because you really can't argue when they both agree.
I mean, you could, but
True.
it's
You
not a good
can,
look.
but it's probably not going to get you very far.
Oh,
See that
Such good
two-hander?
hands.
so
What's your thoughts, Mick?
well, just
on
right there at the
strategy?
end. I wish Crandall would have stayed engaged. He got
Yeah,
he
he
got
kinda-
upset with his partner Scott, and
And he put his battle down.
yeah, and he kind of gave up. And I
I know
get
you
it.
love that when
Yeah,
people
I
give
s-
up.
I struggle with
It's
it
your
when
favorite thing.
because I don't have that bone. Oh, that's good.
Mm.
Oh,
Point game, switch in.
That's game. I just. Could you see the
Ooh.
defeatedness in the Scott
No,
right now?
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Did we zoom in? Cameraman? Did the cameraman zoom in?
the defeatedness. Now, you know what? They can come out with a fresh mental attitude in this
Absolutely.
game, and let's hope that they do.
That's a good choice.
you know
It is a good choice.
That's where the true champion comes out in a lot of people, right?
Agreed.
You either dig deep, you're like, okay, and use that as fuel to power yourself in and through it, or you stay in that negative headspace and it tears you down, and nobody ever wins.
And the
through
game's
that.
over quick. And your partner, as partners, you know, it's so important to build each other up, support each other. Even though the first game didn't go the way you wanted, if you come back out with a positive mental attitude together, what's our new strategy?
Yeah. Have a
that-
plan. Have
Yes. What's our
Absolutely.
and we have to have a couple strategies at this point. Okay, maybe we won't stack. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do that. But you got to work through that as a team.
I agree. And wouldn't you say, you guys, what are your thoughts on this? I've always thought that pickleball, I'm going to say, I've said it, 90% mental.
It is.
I mean, that's, for me, staying engaged, staying focused, staying positive. When you can do that, you can come out on top so many times.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to not get frustrated. It's hard to not get down. It's hard to not get frustrated with your partner. But you can't, because nobody wins in that
It's not
case.
going to help anybody.
And it's no fun. Doesn't help at all. So here we are. We're getting ready to go into game 2 for the gold medal match of the men's senior pro here in Brigham City, Utah at the Tournament of Champions PPA event.
Oh.
This is our final match of the
Did
day.
you guys pick up on that? What was happening over here? Is Crandall and
Crandall was upset about something. I don't know what.
I believe he's
Stanley
frustrated.
said
I
that was
believe
my
he's
call.
frustrated about the profanity call, the warning that he was given just a minute ago.
I see. Let it go. That's
yeah, you gotta let that go.
yeah. Easier said than done, but
Much
you
easier
gotta
said
move
than
on.
done.
You got to move on to the next, because otherwise that'll just poison your play. That's
Yep.
what I call
Mhm.
it.
So
Poisons
here
your
we
play.
are. They're starting out with a point.
And I've noticed some. Oh,
Ooh,
Wow.
wow.
some players will take those mental challenges and they'll use them to their advantage. That anger, that emotion will come out in a positive way and help them to play better, and others don't.
Right. It
Noticed.
can, yeah, that's true. It depends on how you handle it. It can fire you up
Yep.
and make you play better, or it can bring you down and then you can't get anything over the net.
And I think we've all been on both sides.
Both
of that.
sides of that. Depends on the day.
Right.
1-0-1.
All right, score is 1-0-1. Scott Moore serving to Dane Gingrich.
Gotta say that the energy off of the Scots is a little bit negative
It's
right
a little
now.
flat right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's a little flat. They need, 1 point can turn that around.
It can.
One real good point can turn it around.
You know what I think, and let's see what you guys think about this. These points right now are kind of short, right? What
Yeah.
I think can really change a mental game quickly is winning a battle.
Yes.
Winning one of those long points, it can certainly fire you up in a positive way.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's crazy how that happens in pickleball.
See how short these are?
Yep,
That's
yep.
definitely not. But suddenly you win one of those really long, drawn-out points, your mental chance can change like that.
My cheerleader comes out, and I just want to cheer for the Scots right now because I feel like they need it.
Right.
I mean, not from me, but from somebody.
Right. You wanna
Not
wanna
that
help pick them up,
You do,
right?
'cause
Were
you
you a
can
cheerleader in high school, Adina?
Oh, jeez, yeah. but let me disclaim that. I also played tennis and soccer because I begged the administration to let me be different than, I didn't want to just be the
Randall with another
cheerleader.
lob. That was a little short.
What happened? Oh, the lob, short. Yeah,
Yeah.
Scott Crandall
I'm
came
sorry,
over and
Crandall
covered.
took it.
Yes, he came
Gingrich
over and hit a
over with short,
beautiful
yeah.
left-handed overhead.
That is the benefit there, like you said
Mhm.
before.
It's so nice to have a lefty on the court.
I like the way Dane is disguising his dinks.
Scott Crandall's talking about. He'd hit a nice ATP. Unfortunately, it
Yeah,
was
Dave
covered.
defended it.
Dave defended it. Scott was still ready for it, but it opened the court up.
I've noticed more and more, and especially at the pro level, that people are defending ATPs like no problem now. And not just defending, but they're placing it in a beautiful spot.
Yep.
They're doing something with the ball.
Yeah, that's one of the best feeling shots in the game when you block an ATP and you put it in a spot where they can't get it after. Oh, it feels so good. It's magical, like that.
Oh, that was a nice inside-out
That was
forehand.
an inside out, really disguised where he's going till the last second. Love that. You got to drill that.
Five,
5-1-2. Oh. That
Oh.
ball took. Did you guys see that skip
It
off the
skipped.
off
Looks
the
like
ground?
it skipped off the line,
Yeah,
maybe
it
just
took
a little bit.
Really weird bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Dave,
Yeah, 'cause that's
watch
uncharacteristic.
Dave's serve here. That one he put a top spin on. He's really working with trying to get spins off of his serves, even though he's not spinning the actual ball.
Well executed. And that was both players. Crandall having a nice backhand slice dink, which I liked.
He set that point up. Scott Moore got all the glory, but Scott Crandall set that point up.
Oh, beautiful.
Sugar Shack.
Inside out again. They need to avoid that spot. The Scots need to avoid the spot.
I like saying the Scots.
Me too.
Yeah.
We did find out that the Scots have played about 8 tournaments together.
Yeah, he said 7 or 8, so it's not a new,
I did
super new
not realize
partnership.
that.
We didn't either. That's why we asked. And
Well, you ask because you really care about people. You guys are good people.
you wouldn't know.
We are at 6-1 with Dane serving to Scott Moore.
Okay.
Okay.
A little greedy. He's like, it worked before. I'm going to go to that well again. came up empty.
He got 2 out of 3.
He had another ball that skipped off the line right here, that serve.
Oh,
I liked it.
so good.
I liked it. That was great.
That was great.
Can
Yes.
we clap?
Goodness, that was fantastic.
I know.
It's so
I
hard
know.
not
I
to
wanted to
cheer.
clap.
I wanted
to
too.
clap right there.
So hard not to yell with the headset on.
1-6-1.
Let's see if they can make something of this. But you're right. It's hard to not want to kind of cheer for the underdog on the. You know,
Always.
they're
I
not really
always
the
wanna do
underdog,
that.
but for the
Yeah, for this match.
for this particular match, they are
6-2.
not in the catbird seat.
Dave going for the hero shot. Like it.
That's trouble.
Oh, that's
that was a
nice.
beautiful
Over him.
bob. It
And
was a
again,
off the bounce. Beautiful dig. By Gingrich.
I like the time that Dave took. Scott's like, I gotta be ready for this.
Oh, Dave with
tried to do the
no
fake
look
look.
push.
Yep.
Tried to do the no look right there.
Yep.
Did not work for him that particular shot, but he certainly hits the no look quite frequently and with some success.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he does. This is actually a really good match.
2-6-2.
Actually.
Well, all four of these
Oh,
players are
gets it
amazing
again.
players.
He
Dang.
is,
He
I
is
bet Dane
one-
drills that.
oh,
I bet
guaranteed,
Dane drills that
guaranteed,
for sure.
Guaranteed. He just hit 3 out
Beautiful.
of 4.
You might be able to check CoachDane.com for
I
that
bet.
drill.
I bet
Yeah,
it's on
yeah.
there.
Wow, beautiful return.
Was
So deep.
nice.
Oh, tough. He had his paddle down at his waist, and he just couldn't quite get it
Get
up
on
and
top of
tie
it, yeah.
Yep.
7-2-1.
And we talked earlier about that, just paddle preparedness.
So important.
He was ready for it that time.
Scott Moore read that one like a book.
7-2-2. Side out.
He got a little excited about that, just put it in the net. Didn't quite get to him.
Yeah.
2-7-1.
It is very hard not to get super excited when it pops up.
And you see it feel like it's a big sitter.
Dave with the no-look push again goes into the net.
Here we are at 3-7-1.
3-7-1.
Yeah, yeah.
Dane used that shot that he used earlier today. He struck that backhand, two-handed backhand right down the center. Scott Moore is all lined up for some backhand dinking, and he gets caught with his paddle over there.
Yep. And Crandall got stuck standing straight up.
It's truly amazing Dane has gotten away with
See.
that push down the middle with both their forehands there.
Right? So I thought the previous one was pretty telegraphed, but that one right there, you know, that was all wrist. You couldn't tell it was coming until the very last second. I really enjoyed that last
It
shot
definitely
of his.
caught Scott off guard.
Oh,
What a good dig.
oh, that's a great point right there. That could fuel the Scots right here. Give them the power they need.
7-3-2.
Oh, and
That might help. A little side out, easy side out action with the serve that went long.
3-7-1.
Oh,
oh, there's that spot again
Yeah,
Dave was
that's
talking
just-
about hitting.
3-7-2.
That's a good eye. Good leave.
Yes.
Yep.
Good leave. And I find those extremely difficult to leave. I don't know why, what it is about it coming across my body, but I'm always worried that it won't really go wide. I just have a really hard time leaving them go.
I feel like we all have that with every certain type of look. You know, a ball that just seems to be in that zone where we're like, I gotta have that, or then you feel dumb after.
7-4-1.
But I gotta say, maybe Ben Johns doesn't. You know, maybe Anna Lee Waters doesn't. Maybe they don't feel that way. Maybe that's why I'm sitting here and not on the court with them.
I had a chance to talk to our bronze medalists, Jason and Court today, and found out Jason had been sick all day long. He'd been throwing up
Wow.
all day. In fact, they had to call a timeout earlier, because sickness timeout, basically, injury timeout, because he was so sick he was throwing up. I don't know how he was not dehydrated.
How old is he?
I don't know.
That's a great question.
I'm just saying.
They've been friends for 35 years, and they played high school basketball together.
Oh, goodness. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
4-8-1.
And so I'm guessing they are young 50-year-olds.
Still, I'm a baby when I'm sick, huh, baby?
Most.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
That's a good call on that, Adina.
Scott's, what is he now, 2 for 7 lobs attempts?
It is 4-7 here. Good hands there. Didn't catch him there.
Beautiful setup.
And that's just a different look. That's Dave Weinbach hitting a forehand to him versus Dane's kind of well-disguised two-handed backhand drive.
Right. Man, another inside out from Gingrich. Oh,
Oh, look. That's a super smart shot.
right. So good.
Mm-hmm.
It like rolled like 12 inches across the top of the net. Like a skateboard trick right there. Love it.
Yeah. We all tied up at, no, it's 8-6. We're in a 1-minute timeout. Maybe we should throw up a quick commercial on Utah. We are back from that timeout.
6-8-2.
Thanks to one of the lovely sponsors here, the state of Utah. Ooh, missed that just a little bit wide. What I love right now, the playing conditions are really about as perfect as you could possibly ask for.
Right. No wind. It's cooled down a bit. Loving it.
No wind, yes. No sun beating down on you at this point.
Perfect cloud cover.
This is a fun time to play pickleball.
Well, speaking of that, you know, since you two started, Adina's off for a second.
Oh, I like that idea.
Scott is now 2 for 8 on the lobs.
I liked that idea. Dave Weinbach could kind of run around the kitchen post. He was out of position.
Yep.
Little nicely placed lob would have worked out great if he hadn't missed it.
Oh, tough. A little indecision of taking it out of the air or not. I love how much these players, you can't hear what they're saying right now, but they're all constantly razzing each other and giving each other a hard time in a friendly manner for
They've
the
played
most
each other
part.
a few
Yeah.
times.
Second serve.
Really loving that off the bounce Crandall
9-8.
reset there. Reset.
If they could get this side out, they could put them in this game. They could pull this game out. They are being relentless against Scott Moore's backhand right there. Relentless.
Yes.
And he dinged several great ones in a row, but he finally ended up popping it up a little bit and exposing his partner.
Yeah. Well, I will say this: Dave is doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yes, he is, and they're actually doing. They're doing exactly what Scott thought they would do.
Yeah.
It's called manifestation, people.
That's out.
Oh.
You hear them razzing each other again. That's that point. That's that point we talked about where you want to close it out. You get super excited and you go for it,
Yep.
and you send it 3 feet long. Because you want so much to close out the game.
That's a good momentum right there. Yeah, Scott looks at us with confidence. He's ready for it.
Yeah.
Love it. Feel the momentum.
10-1.
9, 10, 1.
Oh, net card.
Wow. What was that, 3 net cords in a row?
Oh, goodness gracious.
That's
Net
been-
court
that's been-
drills are really paying off, though.
You know, the Scots want one more point right here.
Yeah, just, I mean, one at a time.
Tough.
Caught him not quite back far enough, not quite in far enough.
Yeah, his
And
third
his
shot.
stance wasn't quite wide enough. That's really wide. He was standing up just a little too tall, a little too lazy-daisical coming in, and suffered a little bit for it. See if we can turn it around. Oh, beautiful. Ernie to the body.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. You know, you gotta admire Scott Moore. Risky. That's a risky move right there, but you gotta go for it because you're now not in a good position. You gotta do something creative.
Oh,
Now
he's
watching
looking
him.
for it
Yeah,
now.
he is.
Good
like
hands.
that block.
Oh, there we go. There's our gold medalist right now,
right.
Dave and Dane,
Nice.
winning
Well
that one in 2 as well as they beat
Yep.
them earlier in the day in 2.
Hey, before we check off here, I want to ask you guys a question. Both of you been in the sport for a little while, 12 years? Is that where we're at?
12 years for me.
2011 for me.
Mine was
whatever that
2010.
is.
I was a year before you started, I believe. At least
Whatever.
the first time I saw you.
Did you guys ever think it would get to this level of where there's actually people who are making a living traveling around doing it? I mean, you were.
I don't know that I was thinking about it.
I'm a in the moment kind of a gal.
Me too.
So
You did good, Scott.
I would love to say I envisioned that, but I'm more live in the moment kind of gal. So I was just thinking about the moment.
You did great, Scott.
Scott Moore is thanking the
Moore.
announcers for hanging around and staying for one more match.
Yep.
But it was the final match of the day, so we're going to be signing off. Come back on tomorrow for more pickleball.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Thank
Really,
you for
really
joining
fun.
me, Mickey and Adina.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have some more great matches for all you viewers tomorrow.
Signing off.